Ozonics Killerwinds podcast back again. We got the nuke. We got me. Let's do this. So I don't know why you don't like the nuke nickname, because I could call you your long nickname. I still have that I still have that for you in my phone.
When have I ever said I don't like it?
Yeah, well, that laugh just
it's just funny. I don't know. It's just funny.
We went to Chick-fil-A the other day and we ordered, and sometimes I like to use nicknames when they ask you for a name at the
till.
drive-through till, and the gal asked, "Can I get a name for that order, please?" And I said, yeah, the nuke. And then Nick said that could be insinuated like a bomb. I didn't even go there, but yeah. So maybe I just need to say nuke.
Or just like diesel or something.
We're not calling it diesel. If you're watching this episode, I apologize. I've got something going on with my eyes.
Yeah, Cole's got something going on big time.
It makes me have to squint.
Some sort of flare up.
And it makes my eyes hurt. So if I just randomly look like I'm
crying,
yeah, grabbing my eyes like I'm in pain.
And if you're listening, you could probably hear it too.
Yeah. You just hear a whimper. That's me.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about today is not even about this episode. This is about an upcoming episode. I've got a really creative idea. That's what I'm going to call it. Maybe so creative it's borderline dumb, but I think it's going to be awesome. I have a digital picture frame in my office. It's like a 10-inch digital picture frame that I've mounted to the left of my desk. And I've had it for a long time. I bet I've had that thing for 6 or 7 years. I've had it for a long time. And it's been a while since I've updated the photos on it.
6, 7.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Had it for a long time. It's so stupid. I think there's more people in the world that are upset about that than like it.
I don't know. I just...
Because you're a teenager at heart?
No, I'm not.
No. So, anyway, for some reason, Nick got a wild hair the other day looking at my digital picture frame. He's like, "Man, that's pretty cool." I'm like, "Yeah." "Where'd you get it?" "Well, how much you pay for it?" Like, "What brand is it?"
Just wheeling and dealing.
So
I was just scheming.
Once that happened, Nick's wheels started to turn, and I knew there was no heading back. We were going down a rabbit hole that was only going to come out the other side. We weren't coming back to the top. We were going down all the way. By the end of the conversation, Nick had figured that the best thing to do was to buy a digital picture frame and only use it for trail cam videos.
Yes.
And of course, in the excitement, he impulse bought probably the wrong one.
Just a dud.
I told you.
Absolute dud.
I told you. I said, "Hey, are you sure you've really dug in?" "Oh, yeah, man, this is it." I'm like, "All right." So he bought it. Paid for the shipping. Got it here. Wrong one.
Yeah, I mean, it works, but it's just
not going to fit for what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, come on. It's just, I mean, there's just a lot of things to it that's just quirky. It's hard to operate. There's like all these things where I had to make the videos a certain format and all this just malarkey.
So I'm just giving you a little taste test of this, okay? So this is just a preview. So what we're going to do when Nick gets the correct picture frame, we'll give you a little detailed spec sheet of the picture frame, talk through how you did what you did. But what it boils down to is we are going to do a podcast episode where we're going to put the digital picture frame here somehow in between us. And the entire episode is just going to be Nick naming and talking about each deer as the video plays. How long is the video?
Right now it's 40 minutes.
And I would venture to guess that you could watch that video without hesitation and name every single buck, where it was, and details about it, correct?
Maybe not 100% of them.
Oh, man, we're going to go
There's
for
a couple of them that are just like random bucks that just randomly walk by that like we didn't have any history with.
But you still know where they were or when it was.
Yeah, where they are and when it was for
So this,
sure.
I just think this is going to be, this is just a little sneak peek into Nick's absolute love for whitetails. I feel like there's a lot of people that could do this. We're going to start out doing it with about a 45-minute reel, and we're going to get into it. I think it's going to be really interesting to just go through it.
Yeah, and I think too, like 40 minutes seems like a long time, but I feel like there's guys out there that maybe they run more cameras, run them for longer, that they probably have way more than what I got.
I know I should probably we should just save this until it happens, but I'm so excited. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll enjoy it because
I'm gonna I don't have to talk. I just sit here.
No, we're gonna converse about it.
Oh,
I mean, because
okay.
there's deer in there that we both have history with, that we both saw, we both chased, and it'll be fun too because we can overlay video from hunts where we've seen them.
I'm also going to keep tally of how many in a row that you can identify.
Yeah.
See what we get to.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You are being a humble steward right now. You and I both know you're going to name every single one.
No, there was a couple from a certain spot that I knew and remembered that we had at that spot in what year, but I couldn't remember. Like, we had them one time, and I couldn't quite remember the number that we had them at.
Okay. Well, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the cool thing is you're going to have this digital picture frame in your house.
Yeah.
Whenever you walk in, you sit down, you got buddies over, you're going to have
gonna be looping
video trail cam up all the time. 24/7, 365. Basically, that's what you're thinking about. Now you're going to be looking at it.
Well, I mean, normally obviously I'm single, so I sit at home alone and I just sit there and watch trail cam videos like all the time.
Anyway,
I don't know. I like them.
Nope, it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so what the podcast is actually about today, we are going to talk about, I think we're just going to stick to Iowa.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Iowa state hunting regulations and laws that we like and dislike. And I have an idea. I've got an idea for a regulation change that I think could be really, really cool for people.
Yeah.
It could really fit the bill for me.
Yeah.
So.
Me too, really.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that too.
Yeah.
So you decide, where do we start?
I don't know, maybe we just start at where we like it.
Okay, I like that. Let's go with the likes.
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
I mean, I'm kind of. To preface, we kind of have like
the same.
We're pretty. I mean, I don't think there's really anything we disagree on.
No, and I mean, we talked about like each taking a stance to then just riffing and arguing it out, but we're just gonna go with what we're gonna go with. Yeah. So I'll start. I'll go for it because it is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And in no particular order, but this one really kind of does rank towards the top. Since I said we're not ranking them, but I just ranked them.
Mm-hmm.
One that's right towards the top is I really like how the state of Iowa only allows bow hunting in the month of November.
Mm-hmm.
I like how there's only bow hunting during the rut.
Yep.
And when we travel around and when I talk to other friends, they're hunting in other states, if there's one thing that you hear them say is, oh man, it's so awesome that you guys can only bow hunt the rut.
Yeah.
That they're not competing, and the rut isn't getting disrupted by gun hunters and guns going off and then just changing everything.
Well, yeah, and I think it's not even so much guns going off. All these other states that start their gun season early to mid-November, they're all rifle states too.
Mm-hmm. Pressure.
Minnesota's a rifle state, isn't it?
Yes.
I think they are. I could be totally wrong. Apologize if we are wrong. I know Wisconsin obviously
Zach Wren. Here, should we call Zach Wren? Let me just call him. Let me just see if he answers. Zach Wren's a friend of ours. Let's just see if he answers. He probably won't appreciate that he's live on the pod, but I don't care. It's ringing. Yo, hey Zach, it's Cole. If you didn't see who it was when I called you, we're live on the podcast right now, so don't swear. Is okay. Minnesota gun season rifle or just shotgun?
It's shotgun rifle. Well, it's shotgun in my area. It's rifle kind of north a little bit, but that all changes in January of 26. So that changes in a month. It goes to all rifle.
Wow. You know what? That's actually pretty.
So that all depends if the counties accept it.
Because it's funny. This is just too perfect. We are doing a podcast about regulations and laws in Iowa that we like, and we were just saying that one of the biggest ones I like is that there's only bow hunting during the rut in Iowa, right? You're only bow hunting the rut. You're only bow hunting November, and how all these other states, when the guns start going off and that just creates just that extra pressure, it changes everything. And Minnesota, you know, what you have to deal with is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, well, don't look to Minnesota for regulations for managing their hunting. They could carry guns. We could carry guns from, I believe, the first season. Well, now it's all one season, but the first season of gun season opened in November. Let's see, November maybe 15th. No, maybe the 8th.
Jeez.
And they've been carrying guns. The one gun season just ended, and this weekend we're starting in our area, which is southeastern Minnesota. They're starting a CWD hunt for the weekend.
Interesting.
And I think, don't quote me, but I feel like you can use anything for that.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
But, yeah.
Well, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, bye. Well, there you go.
Was that our first official call-in?
A call out, actually. It wasn't a call in. We're not cool enough for call-ins. Yeah. I don't think people even know that we do this. Was that our first official call-in? I'm pretty sure we called him. Not a call-in, it was a call-out.
We should start a call-in segment.
Yeah, hey, guys.
And then we just sit here dead quiet for 5 minutes. No.
Oh, the call-in segment would be this.
No, that was interesting. Was he saying that they're making that change?
Making the change in 2026, and then the counties have to decide.
Is that just like a rule that they do every single year that after January, it's like another?
No, it sounds like it's changing in 2026 moving forward, and then the counties have to decide.
Okay.
So yeah, that's interesting. But again, moral of the story, just like he just said, he's a Minnesota resident. He's like, oh yeah, don't follow Minnesota's tune.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
Only bow hunting November. Man, that's sure nice.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say about the rifles is like, I mean, you could just reach out and touch them so much farther than just a shotgun. So that makes a heck of a difference.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, in Iowa, again, part of it I think is Iowa is so flat, right? And you know, when you've got a bullet that can go 6, 7, 800 yards, you know, at a minimum, what?
6, 7.
Oh my gosh! Stop. Gosh, that's so annoying.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yep, as you would say. Okay.
Carry on.
Okay. So far.
Yeah.
You know, whereas with the straight wall cartridges, and it seems like that's gotten so popular, we're just right now in second shotgun season. Mm-hmm. It's still 100 and 200 and under, 150 and under. It's not like you're shooting 500 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
800 yards. I'm skipping numbers now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Nope, it all makes a huge difference. But yeah, crazy. November 8th, man. It's the day I shot Skinny Pete.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of assumptions here. I feel like my assumption is that if you were to have gun hunting in Iowa that early, it's just going to put so much pressure out there. It's going to change everything. Maybe it wouldn't, but I feel like it sure would. Well,
not even pressure, but that's the best time of year where bucks are most vulnerable. You're gonna see way more deer get killed.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's the big one. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there he is, 300 yards. Let it eat.
Kaboom.
Yeah. Not even kaboom, just which I guess his name is Kaboom, but Kaboom sounds like a cartoon. Okay, let's move on. I had the first one. You get the second one.
Something that we like.
Something that we like.
I do like the, I guess the draw system for non-residents.
Yep. We are in agreement on that.
I think that's why Iowa is the way it is. It's we got a really good deer herd, and I think if you open it up to a bunch of non-residents, it'll really decrease that. I think you probably see, your buck quality for sure drop. And another thing too is I actually heard this on a podcast. I can't remember who it was, but essentially they said, non-residents should be honestly happy about it too. I mean, yeah, it sucks they can't hunt it, but at least they have an opportunity to look forward to something and come and hunt such an amazing state.
Yeah.
Whereas if that goes away, then it's just going to be like any other state, essentially. I mean, I think it would probably take a couple years for it to get that bad. Maybe not. Maybe it would just be infiltrated with just a ton of non-residents where it could make a quick impact. But still, I mean, I think that was a really good point because, I'm lucky enough to be a resident here, but before that, it was always kind of like, man, it'd be awesome just to go hunt there. Whereas, you don't really think about that with Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, because you can just go do it, it's
every
just,
year.
Yeah, it's not such a thing to strive for and be like super excited about. So,
yeah, I mean, my thing is I like the non-resident system, like you said. I also like the non-resident quantity that they cap it at 6,000.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing that I would say about it is I know a pile of people that I guess if you probably held a gun to their head and asked them, part of the reason they moved to Iowa is because they couldn't hunt here every single year.
Yeah.
Right off the top of my head, I could think of a handful of people that moved here.
Yeah.
Because hunting here once every 5 years wasn't enough.
Right.
I mean, you know people too.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you here?
Work.
Yeah. Partly, but why? Partly too is
yeah. Well, I guess the reason I say work too is like obviously the hunting was like a huge part of it, know. But I guess what I'm saying is like, say I got a different job that was in Wisconsin or something like that, I wouldn't have just moved to Iowa.
Yes.
It was all multiple things.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yes, for sure.
There's a lot of people that I know that have moved here from lots of different places because they want to be an Iowa resident.
Oh, yeah.
So here's a crazy take. Let's say hypothetically they were going to change the system. Like, for example, look at Alaska. Alaska has certain regs for non-residents that if you hunt and you harvest an animal, you can't hunt that animal again for a set amount of years.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So essentially you could hunt Iowa for 4 years straight, but on the fourth year you kill one, you can't come back for
4 years.
Okay.
2 years.
However
whatever
long it may be.
Yeah, whatever. So that could be really interesting. It's like, oh, okay. Because like, for example, I think the hot button issue, because again, I'm always watching during the winter months what's happening with the legislature, right? There's lobbyists out there that are lobbying for different things. And every year it seems like what comes up is non-resident landowners wanting to have a landowner tag just like a resident landowner. Hey, I'm a landowner.
Yeah.
I'm investing in the state of Iowa. I want to tag every year. Well, sorry. That's not the way that it's set up.
Yeah.
So then, maybe that's a compromise. I don't like that. Let me say, I don't like any compromise. I think it's great how they have it set up.
Agree.
Congratulations. That's awesome that you bought land in Iowa and that you're investing in the state and it's helping real estate and everything else. That's awesome. But I like the fact that wait the amount of years like anybody else as a non-resident.
Yeah.
But let's say there was a compromise. Maybe that's a compromise. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You can get a tag here every year as a non-resident.
Yeah.
But once you shoot a deer, you can't hunt. You can't get a tag for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, I think what that would do is every non-resident would be like, yes, absolutely. Just count me in. Well, they're going to be a lot more selective on the buck that they're going to shoot.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not going to get a landowner coming here shooting a 130-inch deer and then have to wait 5 years to hunt again? Nice try.
Maybe though.
You think?
Yeah.
You think a guy with land would come here and shoot a 130-inch deer and then just wait 5 years?
Okay, yeah, maybe not. Maybe not if they had land, then maybe not.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a non-resident landowner, instead of them getting a tag like everybody else, saying, okay, fine, you're a non-resident landowner, yep, you can get a tag. Once you shoot a buck, you can hunt for 5 seasons after that. Next year's year 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So if you shot deer in 26, you shot deer in the bow season of 26, you couldn't hunt 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. You couldn't hunt again until 2032.
Yeah. I got you.
Maybe that's the compromise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think that people that, you're coming from a place that maybe doesn't have the huge bucks, or just, like, for example, like the guy that, the giveaway winner for Ohio, we walked in and he was looking at the wall and everything on there. And he's like, man, I haven't even seen a deer like this, let alone get a chance to shoot one. A guy like that might be like, okay, I'm going to go to Iowa and just get a nice one under my belt. And the 130 would be
Yes! Nick, you have such a potty mouth. Do you know that this is a semi-live, half-professional podcast?
Oops.
You're not representing yourself. You're representing the company. Do you see what it says on the front of this unit right here? Ozonics. It doesn't say Nick Simon's personal time that he gets to cuss and swear. There could be younger people that listen to this.
Sorry. That's what happens when I just get into the conversation.
Wow.
But yeah, no, what I was saying was just like...
What happened to the beep noise? I was looking for the beep beep. I need to get these things labeled.
That was unbelievable.
That's literally, that sound sequence there is kind of the way my brain feels like all the time.
Oh gosh, that was too good.
Okay, well, we're keeping that in there. You're just gonna have to beep it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, what I apologize for that. I lost it.
Listen, I like it when you get really into it. That's that's super fun.
Yeah. But anyways, I apologize. But anyways,
Very genuine
but
apology.
what I was trying to get at is that 130-inch deer is a huge buck to a lot of people.
Yes.
And me included.
Yep.
I would give anything to shoot a 130-inch buck. I mean, I still haven't, joined that club, as one would say. So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of forgot my train of thought.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, because I think the discussion was, I don't think a non-resident landowner, if they could only shoot a buck, if they shoot a buck and they can't hunt for 5 more years, isn't going to probably come here and shoot a 130-inch deer.
Yes.
But maybe they would. Like
maybe.
we've talked to guys in Michigan or Pennsylvania or a place like that, and like you're saying, when you were in Ohio, the giveaway winner, he's like, man, dude, I've never seen anything close to this. So I get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at the, like a BBD, right? They have a minimum.
Yeah.
But when we were there and we've talked to those guys, like, yeah, man, some guys come and like, they really just want to shoot a buck. And this is some of these like little, like cull bucks or small bucks or up and comers, biggest deer they've ever seen.
Yeah. And I just want to preface too, like for the giveaway winner.
Yeah.
Who cares? I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. We're just, this is just for discussion's sake. Yes,
I think it's awesome, man.
Yes.
I mean,
that man, I'm telling you what, maybe that's another idea. Maybe that's what you do.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right. Let's put a button on that one.
Yep. Button on it.
Oh, that was great. Okay. What's the next one? Oh, I know. I'll go. Number 3. I like how youth tags, you can hunt a youth tag the whole season. If you have the youth tag and they don't fill it during youth season, you can hunt them during bow or shotgun or late muzz with that weapon.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's kind of cool.
With that weapon.
Yep. So that's why I don't take Jeb bow hunting with his youth tag, because he's not shooting a bow yet.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to take him out during first or second shotgun on his youth tag, I could, or late muzz, and he wanted to shoot that 45.
So with that being said, then, if you wanted him to bow hunt, you would have to buy him a youth bow tag, correct? or he could just use his youth tag.
From what I understand, you can use your youth tag.
Okay.
But I would buy him a bow tag too, and I would probably just let him hunt on the bow tag.
Right. Okay.
But see, that would be the other question is, would I even do that? Because if he could use his youth tag and I wanted to take him like first or second shotgun or late muzz, he could get a state tag for that too. Because I think he can only get 2 tags still. So if he gets a youth tag, that's one of his either sex tags. And then if he got a bow tag, that's the either sex tag too. I'd rather him be able to do his youth tag in the bow and then maybe have him get a first or second or late muzz with his other state tag.
Okay.
So we'd have to do some more checking on that.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I do like the idea of being able to, and I don't know if a lot of people knew that. I didn't entirely know that until I really started reading. I was like, oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can use that all the way through.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And obviously you're hunting with a licensed hunter.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yep. I would also say number 3B to that. I like that the state of Iowa doesn't have a minimum on youth age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really allowed me to take Jet turkey hunting not probably, a lot younger than in a lot of states,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, when you get to a certain age, then you have to go through the hunter safety course, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah.
But I like that they can go with a licensed adult. I mean, Jet shot his first turkey when he was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's shot some deer already too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fun.
That might be one that we kind of maybe disagree on.
I know,
just
that's
a
what I
little
figured you
bit.
were going to say, yeah.
Just because the way it was now, Wisconsin has changed back to how Iowa is now, where any age you can. I believe it's any age. I know that it went from 12, and then a couple years after it was 10. Because I think Benny started hunting when he was 10, but for me it was 12. And the only reason I say that is just because I felt like I understood the process really well because I was still just sitting with Dad, and so I knew how it all went and stuff like that. But
the argument
that's just me.
The argument that I think that what I think you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think what the tricky part about the whole no minimum age for youth hunting is, and what I was very sensitive to as Jet started hunting is, especially when he was for those first couple of years, his job is the kill.
Right. Yes.
And you've been with us, and I can tell that like I know you well enough that I know your face.
Yeah.
Like this face right here, this is the face. Now you're changing it. But if that skeptical face, that's the look you give.
Yeah.
And for you, like you just said, it was about you went with Dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a Wisconsin thing. Oh yeah, Mom and Dad. Not my mom and dad, but okay. But yeah, you went with your dad, and he took you hunting, and your whole thing was just the process.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even get to, and for you and I both, we just did the podcast last week where I absolutely teed off into left field, which I don't tee off into left field, but you know what I mean. Yeah, man, I'm kicking home runs, baby. Let's do this. No, but so about that, it's not just about the kill; it's about the hunt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the process and everything that goes into it, and not like obviously going out there and harvesting the deer and killing the deer is part of it, but who is there with you? And like we talked about, having Jet with me, and and then like you having a chance to shoot your deer, and having Benny and Charlie there, and all that stuff, and the weather, and just how the hunts go, and having deer walk by that we weren't killing, and just really awesome.
Yeah.
So I think when there's no minimum age, it gets to be more about like that little guy or girl, their job is just to kill.
Yeah.
You're there to pull the trigger. You don't really understand a lot of the rest of it.
Yes.
And so like I think what I've tried to do is make sure that Jet really understands that process. This last spring was a perfect example of that. He didn't kill. He had been real fortunate to kill a pile of turkeys in a row. I was like, wow, you're on a real streak.
Yeah.
Well, that completely ended.
Yeah.
This deer season for him hasn't gone very well.
Yeah.
We were gone during the first part of youth season. Then we went out.
Missed half of it.
Missed half the youth season. Then we went out, and he got real excited. I wouldn't let him shoot at this doe that came in.
Yeah.
Or button buck or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And that's where I think if a mom or dad are taking their kids, And it's just like, hey, man, you're just along for the ride because I want to get out hunting early and we've got a buck coming on this field and I'm going to have you pull the trigger. Indo facto, I'm living vicariously through you and you're hunting for me. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what that could breed and kind of build is this idea of that it's just we're educating a bunch of killers, not a bunch of hunters.
Right.
You know, and so
exactly.
we don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from,
Yeah,
and I think that's the slippery slope of it, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody else does, but I know like the people that I know that have kids that are taking their kids hunting, they're trying to make sure that they understand the process and there's more to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And like another thing to be said, I mean, it's obvious, like I'm in such a different stage of life. Like I don't have kids. I mean, if I were to guess, if I had kids, I'd probably be thinking completely different about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's,
No, yeah, I get it.
yeah.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I think part of the sticky thing for you with it is like when you've seen me take Jet, he's had a pretty good go at it.
Yeah. Well, turkeys, I'd say turkeys for sure.
Turkeys especially.
Feels like deer hunting. It feels like it's funny with deer hunting. Like the last couple years with Jet specifically, it's like, oh my gosh, there's bucks out here every single night. And then we go in there and then just nothing happens. I mean,
well, and again, trying to really stick to the process.
yeah.
You've heard me say to him, hey, bro, we're shooting. If it's brown, it's down.
Yeah.
We're shooting the first deer
Yeah.
that comes with their range and gives us a high percentage shot.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means that I've done it with that. He missed that doe that day, right? Doe right out in front of us at 50 some yards, buck over to the right, too far. No, man, we're shooting that doe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the deer we're shooting.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's got antlers on its head?
Yeah.
We're shooting a deer because we want to take deer meat home.
Yeah.
And making sure that he understands that. But
Yeah.
you're right. He has had we've had just all these bucks walking by and then all of a sudden they just disappear and it's only does, which is fine.
It's funny.
But yeah, but I get what you're saying where you felt like you had to cut your teeth a long time with your dad and just kind of like be out there and really, really learn it. And his experience has been a lot of like success.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially turkey hunting.
Turkey hunting.
Now this year really brought him back to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was way out in orbit on how turkey season really was.
Yeah.
Now he was like, oh, wait, they don't just come running in? No, sometimes they don't. And every time I took you, they did yesterday and they didn't today. And they're going to do it tomorrow, but they didn't do it today. And then next week when I think it's the slam dunk, they won't do it again. For no apparent reason.
Yeah.
But I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
And I think that is a slippery slope. And that's probably one of the hard things about that regulation.
For sure it is.
Yeah. There are a lot of hunters going out there that don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been instilled by the state by saying this is the things that we think are important.
Yeah.
You're just counting on the hunters to do that, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool, but also can be a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Because if all of a sudden the dads likes to do stupid stuff and poach deer and trespass and break laws, well, guess what you're doing?
Right.
Now you're uneducating the next generation.
Exactly.
So, okay, enough on that. Number 4, what do you got?
Ooh.
Don't swear on the pod. I felt like there was more things we liked. What else do we like? Oh, I know what we were going to say. I know what I was going to say. It was a hot button issue, too.
Say it. I'm kind of.
I like no crossbows during the first
yeah.
split of archery.
Yep.
And I say that because you can use a crossbow during late muzz, which is the second split.
Yep.
So I like, but even with that said, you can't use a crossbow during the whole archery season.
Right.
So even if it's the second split, if it's a bow tag, you can't use a crossbow.
Nope.
If you go and get a muzzleloader tag and just put the bow tag down, pick up the muzzleloader tag, now you can use a crossbow.
Because
so it's a muzz tag,
Yeah,
and it's a lesser weapon.
Exactly. The lesser weapon is the key part.
Just like how you can use a handgun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So I get it. But yeah, I like no crossbows during the bow season.
Yeah.
I know that people don't like that. You know, I feel like there's this hard line in the sand now on this whole thing. You're either on one side of the fence, you're on one side of the line or the other.
Yeah.
It seems like more and more states are jumping onto the side of, crossbows during bow season. My whole thing and where I stand on it, I like the way Iowa has it set up. if you have a disability of some kind, you have a shoulder injury, you have something where you can't draw a bow back, and you go to the doctor and he says, "Hey, this not happening for you." Great, crossbow's great.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think there could be a place in a compromise where for youth, you know? When I was in Colorado, when I guided, we saw a lot of youth, and we saw a lot of like wives or girlfriends that didn't have the strength to draw a bow back. You know what I mean? Shooting crossbows, I thought that was pretty awesome. But even with that said, I like the way Iowa's laws are.
Yeah.
No crossbows in the bow season.
Yeah.
I think you either have to be all in or all out. There's no gray area. I think it's a really black or white for me.
Yeah.
But you know, the other thing for me is, and again, I know this may come off as hypocritical, and I know there's another side of this argument. So I say that, but that's my caveat before I say this, my disclaimer. I think there needs to be a certain skill involved in bow hunting. And I feel like to the people that may be like, oh, well, yeah, there's a lot of skill in shooting compound comparatively to a self bow or a longbow recurve, meaning it's way harder to do that than it is a compound.
Yeah.
I get it. But I feel like at a certain point you have to draw a line in that. And I think where we're at is where the line needs to be drawn. I think if you allow crossbows during the bow season, it doesn't take near as much skill.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen this firsthand with what crossbows can do. I have too.
That's crazy. They're stupid.
Yep. And when you see, and again, there's a lot of crossbow manufacturers make unbelievable crossbows. They're making unbelievable product, right? Like, and I hope I'm not trying to come off, and I'm not trying to knock anybody. I just feel like when you see all these people and they buy a crossbow, and within less than a half a dozen shots can ding them in there at 100 yards with an arrow or a bolt going 300 to 500 feet per second. Is that really a bow? You know what I mean? And so and look at when we go to Harrisburg, we have our booth right across from the Lancaster guys. We've talked to those guys for years.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing they always talk about that really carries that whole thing for them: crossbow sales.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because Pennsylvania for so long has been a big rifle state.
Mm-hmm.
You ask us, who's buying all these crossbows? Who's buying the crossbows? Rifle hunters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just like at a certain point, like, and again, it's like a double-edged sword, because the hunting whole thing has gotten so good, and the technology and the innovation and all of it just keeps going up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it's making hunting easier and easier and easier and easier.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's where it has to stop.
Yeah.
It's like it just doesn't take very much skill to shoot a crossbow, I don't think.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, if I could give my crossbow to my 8-year-old boy, you know, and just hand it to him and he could shoot 100 yards, like, man, that just seems crazy.
Yeah. Well, and too, it's like, you know, you say Jet, for example, you get him a crossbow and he's shooting and he's just tacking them in there. And he shoots that for a couple years. He gets to be 10, 12 years old where he can handle a compound bow, and he starts shooting and he's hitting it all over the target. What's he going to think?
You think he's going to want to shoot a vertical bow?
He's going to say, well, F this. I'm going to go just shoot the crossbow.
You already swore today. Just go for it.
Fudge this.
No, but you're 100% right. Even like I said, when we're at the Harrisburg show, now those guys, they call them vertical bows, right?
Yeah.
Vertical bow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't sell near as many vertical bows.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what? I never said this first. I was like, oh, that's funny. I've never heard it called that before.
Yeah.
And the argument was, well, he can. You say it's too easy. He can tack him in there at 100. He can do that with a gun. You're absolutely right. He can during the gun seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Do it during the gun seasons, but during the bow season, let it be bow hunting.
Yeah.
I think, and so I like the way the state of Iowa has it. I hope they don't ever change it.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I feel like the first domino to fall was late muzzleloader.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, because again, I don't know, whatever. I don't like that. I like the way it is.
I agree.
So sorry, crossbow hunters. It's just the way I feel. Anyway, all right.
I like that we can use cameras on public land
Yeah. Well, you better like that one for a little bit longer because it sounds like that's going to be changing.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
Sounds like it's going to be changing.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they do, whatever. It's fine. Not
Well,
my decision.
and
I'll just
deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it.
Here's
Make
the
it work.
thing. Here's the thing is interesting about that. Here's where I stand on that. I like that we can use them, but I don't like to see them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and here's
Which
the
is,
thing,
and
too.
that's, and somebody hearing that be like, well, see, there's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why they shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, I get it. But I don't know. Like, does it, like we had this conversation with Jace, like, does it actually affect the resource? Or does it actually, like, change someone's experience when they're out there?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it does, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like there's so much technology that's out there, and there's so much that like literally I can get on my phone right now and I can look at not even just aerial photos. I can look at recently updated imagery,
3D imagery.
3D imagery.
Yeah.
Like I can go and I can look at Onyx on the mountains in Alaska that I hunt and go the most recent image and see the snow on the mountains and like, oh, this is what's doing within the last like so many days.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It
You
is
know,
insane.
and maybe they're like, oh, that's way, way different. That's a whole nother discussion. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to change.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. And like we said, if it does, whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah. And again,
it'll be
I get
fine.
it. Yeah. A lot of people out there smarter than us. And there's,
yeah.
and again, I think that our perspective is so narrow focused in the fact that like we're just thinking hunting.
yeah.
There are bird watchers and hikers and people that are just enjoying it and going
Yeah.
out and just going on a hike and they turn and they see a trail camera and they're like, okay, what's that?
Yeah.
Like they don't, people like, I think what I think it, you know, the tune that it kind of like hits for people is they don't like to be watched.
Mm-hmm.
People want to be out there and they want to just feel like they're out in the great unknown.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they see this camera.
Right. Right. And I get that. I do
Yeah.
get that. I do for sure get that. But and like we, you know, I feel like years past I felt way more like passionate about this. But you think about it, this year we didn't do a single hunt on public land.
Yeah. We didn't even hunt public land. Now,
No.
part of that was because the places that we hunted got really smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, exactly. No. Now we have camera on public land.
Yep. We got one.
Yep.
One up. Yep.
Yep.
That's,
So
yeah.
just in a certain spot.
Yeah. Strategic spot is what I'd like
Which
to
is
say.
kind of funny because I feel like we have been watching and observing way more people than we are deer.
Actually, it's funny. The amount of people have fallen off. I don't think I've had a guy on there since like the first 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
We got out of October and into November.
Yeah, like into November, like there was nobody there.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because like throughout October, it was like every day, like you would only get people on there, and then now it's not like the camera's lighting up by any means. I think maybe to me it feels like they went in there like, okay, yeah, there's no deer in there because there really wasn't a lot of deer on camera.
Yeah.
There was right in the really thick of the rut, there was a couple nice bucks that strolled through there, where it's at makes complete sense. But for the most
And
part,
that's why we put it there.
yeah, and for the most part, I personally thought that we were going to see more on there than what we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting how that little spot played out.
Yeah. All right. I'm up, right? It's my turn. You said
Yeah.
Okay. Man, what else do I like? What else do I like?
I know one that I might say.
Go for it.
I like. Now, this one isn't really too controversial, I don't think.
Well,
Well, one of
it
them
doesn't
might
have
be.
to be
One of them
controversial.
might be.
It doesn't have to be controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, your swear word's controversial. We're talking
Yeah,
about that.
I know. One of them would be. I like that you can call a dog to track deer.
Okay.
I mainly because I think that that's just part of kind of like the process. Like if we can't do what we can to find the deer, I think we owe it to the deer to have like another step to be able to go find that deer if it is dead. So I like that. And I guess same thing with the drones too. I feel maybe a little bit different on the drone part. I just feel like there could be a lot of gray area with that and people using them for the wrong thing, like scouting essentially. So I feel like there's some stuff with that could be a little bit sketchy potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just think it's cool that, you know, they recognize that, okay, that this could be a part of it. If somebody needs some help, it's better than just letting a dead deer lay there and rot. I think we owe it to the deer to be able to find them. So
Yeah, I kind of feel both ways on that one. Because again, like I grew up before the dog thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you know when that became like kind of like a new like fad, I guess you could say, like, or when it became legal, or?
I don't know right off the top of my head. I don't,
because I don't know either. I mean,
no, here, let's ask my phone.
Yeah.
When did blood trailing dogs become legal in Iowa? (2020).
Recent. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't the last. I thought I was going to say it was less than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just Googling it here quick. Blood tracking dogs, leashed dogs for blood tracking recovery wounded deer in Iowa became legal in June 25th of 2020.
Okay.
As a relevant legislation that was signed into law by Kim Reynolds. Yeah, so, I mean, the part that I don't like about it is that, like, and I've heard you say it too, you know what I mean? Like, and you've said it, like, with Wisconsin, you know, is it used to be if you shot a deer and you couldn't find it, you would call your buddies and be like, all right, man, we're going to back out and, you know, grab a bite to eat, and we're going to come back in here and grit it off. But now you blood trail it till you can't find blood anymore. You call your buddies and say, yeah, we're going to call dog in. Nobody does the gritting it off anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I think's different. Like, I think sometimes the dog becomes kind of the 1,000-foot crutch. You know, like when I was a kid and up until 2020, if you shot a deer, and again, I've been there, done that. Unfortunately, shooting a recurve bow, like, doesn't always go as planned, and everybody makes a bad shot at some point, me included, more than one, you know. At some point, you're like, okay, well, I'm following pin drops. Now I'm following nothing. And then you start gritting it off. And this is before Onyx. You know what I mean? Like, you would literally just like, you would walk looking at a tree. Okay, there's that tree. And then so you're trying to walk in a straight line and then move down 20 yards and then walk all the way back to the other end and grit it off and grit it off and grit it off and just keep doing that and keep doing that and try to find a deer that way, or circles, right? Bigger and bigger circle and just keep circling and circling. But like, I feel like less and less people do that. They just, as soon as they run out of blood, call in the dog. Yep, call the dog. You know, so like that's what I don't like about it. You know, do I think it's good that it helps recover animals? Yeah, I think that's awesome, and I think that that's the way it should be done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I don't know, and that's just like my traditional, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that mentality. Doesn't mean it's right. It's just the way I feel.
Right.
Like and again, like, because I feel like whenever you hear people say the story, it's like, oh yeah, I shot it, blood trailed it, ran out of blood, we called in the dog. It's not, oh, we blood trailed it, couldn't find any blood, you know, gritted it off for 3 days and found it, or a day or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the deer that I'm talking about right now, that I'm looking at you thinking about, for somebody that I knew that shot a deer and gritted it for days, miles and miles and miles, you know, and then eventually found it, you know, and only, you know, and so if that would have been now, as soon as it stopped or the ran out of blood, which is, oh, let's call the dog in, you know, and so I don't know. It's just like, it's just a different way of doing things.
Yeah.
But I think the good thing is, like you said, I think it helps recover animals. You know what I mean? I've never really, like, I've talked to there's always like dog tracking guys or deer tracking dog guys at the Iowa Deer Classic. And I've stood and talked to them for a bit and just like asked them about this. You know, like, hey man, like I'm not trying to start an argument, but like part of like my reservation with dog tracking is like not being able to, like, it's like, feels like gridding off is going away. And I've heard those guys like, yeah, the guys don't do much of that anymore.
Yeah.
They call us,
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah.
And like when I worked in Colorado, one of the guys I worked with, he was from California, and they had Jack Russells.
Okay.
Little Jack Russells.
Yeah.
They used those as blood trailing dogs. When I shot my Columbia blacktail, I shot that deer. We stalked up on it. I shot it at like we got to like 15, 20 yards. It stood. It was quartering to me. I shot, buried it right behind the shoulder, really tight. And it ran off and down, and we couldn't see where it went. And right away, my buddy Lane is like, let's call my dad. And I'm like, and he's like, it'll be a great time for the dogs to work. And I was like, okay. And I never experienced that before. You know what I mean? And sure enough, like it went over this hill and we couldn't see it. And it got down, and we're like, well, either went down, it went left or right. Well, we thought it went right. It went left, and dogs just went right to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, so I think they have their place. You know what I mean? And so again, I hope that doesn't come off the wrong way. I just feel like, again, it's a tricky thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't ever get to where a guy is just like in a situation and, oh my gosh, there's the buck of my lifetime, and I'm going to shoot it thinking, well, if I can't find it, we'll sick the dogs on it.
Right. No,
like, I don't want it to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like before, and again, maybe that's part of the reason I am the way that I am now, is because I've spent the hours and hours and days looking for a deer and not finding it, and just having that absolutely terrible feeling in my stomach.
Yeah.
And so it makes me more respectful and reverent about the shots that I take.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the argument could be made, well, you would have had dog, probably would have found it. Yeah,
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And again, I don't have any experience with this except for what I see on social media and in the little conversation I've had when I've seen the thermal drone guys at the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That seems to be the evolution of this, because guys go, well, if you are gridding stuff off, or if you are walking into a neighbor and you've got a dog on a leash, you've got pressure.
Yeah, the drone is the way least intrusive way to do it.
Exactly. And so I think that, and again, the technology
Yeah.
and just the process of how the laws have changed, now someone's like, well, hey, let's use thermal drones. Now we're not putting any pressure.
Mm-hmm.
We can fly from above.
Yeah.
And you knew a guy that had a guy come in with a thermal drone, and it was unbelievable to hear like his success rate and like how often, and then just the little nicks and knacks of like, oh yeah, we'll find it right over here. Oh, I'll be able to see if it does this or it does that. Oh, there it is. It's
well,
like, whoa,
and it was crazy too. It wasn't necessarily the success rate of finding the dead deer, but the success rate of being able to go up and see the deer.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like,
yes. And identify like,
exactly,
this deer is wounded. This is how it, like,
yes,
it's fully alive. It's fully dead.
Yep.
Like you're not going to get that deer or whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy cool stuff. And I think like what I was saying too, like it's the least intrusive way to do it. It's super effective. But what I was saying before, where I kind of feel weird about it, is I just hope people aren't using those drones for the wrong thing.
No, that's where I think it's such a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And I think the dog tracking you got to be real. And that's why, like I said, in Iowa, it's a leashed dog.
Yeah.
When I was in California, it was just like, let them out. You know what I mean? Like, so, so again, like, it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But no, and like you said, the thermal drone thing and the drone thing in general, like, that's a tricky thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. All right, so I think we talked about a bunch of likes.
Yeah.
Did you say you had one more?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Dislikes.
Honestly, can't think of anything specific right. Oh, I know one. Having to pull your stands off by the end of the year or whatever.
Within 7 days of season ending.
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
Yeah. Why did I think that before? It was you had to have it off by the 10th. Was it? I don't know. Why do I keep thinking that?
Man, maybe it is that. I always thought it was 7 days after. You can't have them out there. So
I
you
think
can't.
it is,
You can't have
7 days before.
7 days before and 7 days after.
I must have just been thinking wrong, but
Yeah.
I think that's I'm not a massive fan of that. I love that you have to take them down, but I feel like that's just a really tight window. The weather's always crummy. It's not very safe. It's icy, and
that's 100% my thing.
yeah,
And the argument to that would be, well, just take him down earlier. Then.
exactly. Yeah.
But a lot of us are And a lot of guys are. You want to have the opportunity to maybe hunt.
Yeah.
And hunt late.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's the thing, like leaving them out there.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, I mean, you know, we've been on a public land. So I don't get nervous in tree stands, but when I do get nervous is when you're taking stands down when it's cold. We've got a stand to take down at some point here.
Mm-hmm.
Should have probably done it this week while it was so nice.
Yeah.
But we got some nice weather in the forecast too.
Yeah.
But taking stands down when it's cold, I just asking for trouble. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, let them do it. Make it so it's like a May 1st.
Yeah.
April 1st even.
Or even like before turkey season comes in.
Yeah, before first day of turkey season,
Yeah.
all stands got to be taken down.
Yeah, something like
you know,
that.
I don't know. I just wish it was. And not only that, but like if you're leaving them out there, if you have to take them down 7 days after, and if you don't, technically that's abandoned property
Mm-hmm.
and it's open to anybody to take, which is really crazy in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then if the state is having state employees go out there all of January and all of February when it's freezing cold and their hands are cold and they're climbing up in tree stands, that just seems like a huge liability.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just make it till April 1st and then you send those same texts out there April and May? They'll say, oh, well, they've got a lot of other stuff to do. Yeah, but is them going out there and freezing and trying to do that stuff in the winter like that, I think that's a good idea?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Even like, oh, well, there's some warm days. Yeah, well, now we're talking about freezing and thawing and ice on the stands and ice on the sticks and everything else. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah. No,
Just let it get warmer and
Yeah.
just give some people more time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is, all of a sudden we get into mid-February and it's not bad out.
Yeah.
Great.
Especially years past.
But yeah, I mean, just 7 days after, I feel like it just gives you such a tight window.
Yeah.
And if we run into that, like that one year, it was all of November, December was great. We got into the first part of January and it went straight south.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're like, okay, now there's a foot of snow.
That
and
sucked.
it's 25 mile an hour wind and 7, whatever, 10, 15 degrees it was. It was awful.
It was so cold.
Climbing up there and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I was like, I'm just going to leave it then. If they want to take it down, go for it. Like, this is stupid. Like, why are we out here right now?
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be mad at them because, like I said, they would probably say, well, you should take it down earlier.
Yeah.
Well, we were hunting late.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's the one of this dislikes.
Yep.
The dislike, I would say, I've talked about this on the podcast before. I've mentioned it at meetings. I wish that the state of Iowa would allow red lights for predator hunting. And I've gone to the Iowa Deer Classic, and they have like those DNR officers that stand there and you can talk to, and I've mentioned it to them. Man, there was one year a guy got all chesty with me. He was all sorts of fired up.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he was like, well, you understand how many people are going to predator hunt? They're going to be spotlighting deer and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I totally get it. Okay. Then the caveat is you can't do it until after January 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's no deer seasons in.
Yeah.
Or there is some January antlerless seasons late.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But still, for the most part, most state of Iowa deer seasons are over.
Right.
So make it after January 10th. That's the main time to do it anyway, is during the wintertime, you
Yeah.
know? So like, or in the spring or the summer when the deer seasons aren't in. So don't allow red lights between January 10th and September 1st or
Yeah.
October 1st or whatever, when the deer seasons officially come back in, no red lights. The rest of the time, allow them.
Yeah.
I wish they would change that.
Yeah.
I think it would open up. I would love to predator hunt at night, but I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a thermal scope, a thermal, monocular, and a night vision scope. That's just not me. But if
Right.
all I had to use was the setup I already have with a red light on the front that costs like maybe a couple $100, I just think you would get so many more guys out there predator hunting. When you look at the harvest reports, the harvest numbers are down. So it's like, let's figure out a way to spur this on.
Yeah.
So look at Pennsylvania. I mean, that's a place that they allow red lights. I've hunted red lights with friends there. It's awesome. It's really fun,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my take on that.
Yeah. Would you like to go into your proposed rule change?
Yeah, so I kind of have a cool idea. I want to call it the Iowa Tag Exchange. And basically the gist of it is where hunters could have the opportunity to exchange their tag or turn their tag back into the state. And when they turned it in, they could either turn it in so somebody else could buy it, or when they turned it in, they could exchange it for the same, and it would only be on antlerless tags for the same county for a different weapon. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, for example, if you have bow antlerless tags, whether they're depth tags or just county specific tags, you get into late season, bow hunting late can get really, really tricky. It's a lot harder to get deer to walk by at 10, 20, even 30 yards. A lot of times it's going to be a 80, 90, 100 yard game, right? And that gets to be a far reach with a bow. Well, if I could take that bow tag and go on the app and do a tag exchange, and when I exchange it, it would void my original tag, and then I could buy a late muzz antlerless tag. The cool thing about that for the state of Iowa too is that they've already issued all these tags. They've already made them available. They're willing to say we're going to harvest, let's say 10,000 deer over all these counties in any season that they want to get bought by the consumers, by the hunters, right? But now, instead of it just being the 2850, the first time it sells, when you exchange it, you don't get your money back, right? And you would have to buy another tag.
Yeah.
But you're not buying another tag. You're just buying the same tag. You're just voiding it for the bow season. Now you're getting it for late muzz season. Well, the crazy thing is you could potentially do it if you had a bow tag. You could exchange it for first shotgun antlerless, second shotgun antlerless, late muzzleloader. So instead of making 2850, they make 2850 times 3.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I just think it would be a really cool way. And again, it would give the state more opportunity to have deer harvested, and it would create more revenue for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, instead of just selling one tag, getting the revenue off one tag, they got the revenue off 4 tags, but it's still the same tag, Or the other part I think would be cool with the tag exchange, instead of exchanging it, it would only be able to exchange, like when you exchange it with the state, you would have 2 options. Exchange it where you give it up and then you buy that tag as a first, second, or late muzz tag, or you can turn the tag in. When you turn the tag in, so people are, well, why would I turn it if I don't get anything for it? Fine. Give them $5. Give them a credit of $5 on their Iowa Outdoors account for the next tags the next year that they maybe buy. But then what you could do is there's a lot of counties that have all their tags sold out. Well, not all those tags get filled, and not all those tags get hunted after the bow season or after the first or second shotgun season. So if a guy could turn them in, when they got turned in, let's say a Cerro Gordo bow antlerless got turned in, if you were on the quota sheet, you could get notified. Hey, when tags become available, notify me. Well, all of a sudden I turn one in and it notifies everybody from Cerro Gordo County that's on that list. Hey, there's a tag available. You can't tell me that people aren't going to buy that tag.
Yeah.
Well, now, so you made $28.50 here. Yeah, you gave a $5 credit, but now you made another $28.50.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
And again, after the first tag, I think they're what, $28.50? They're $33 for the 86, $28.50, and then they're like $15. Yeah. So still, even if they've already bought them, now they're getting them at $15. You're still making $15 you didn't make before.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it gets more people out there, and I think it gets more deer harvested.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, I would have, if I had a bow tag, and that's the other thing too, is like, that's what's funny about it is you can hunt in late muzz with a muzzleloader or a lesser weapon, except for shotguns. So I can go out with a late muzz tag, shoot a muzzleloader, shoot a crossbow, shoot a handgun, shoot my bow. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're already allowing them to do that. You know what I mean? But like, so I could if I want, but like, I just feel like if you did that, you could get guys that would turn in those bow tags. They might buy it as a first shotgun. Then they might buy it as a second shotgun. They might even then buy it as a late muzz tag.
Mm-hmm.
So you're making more money off of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it gets more guys out there.
Yeah.
I mean, guys meaning men and women.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it would be kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I think for our situation and probably other people too, with the depredation stuff, I just think that it'd be awesome. I mean,
well, and depredation. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, they give out these depredation tags for a reason. They want the deer killed. Well, I mean, we can't control the deer, and if we don't get them killed, then it's like, well, crap. Now that tag is just done for. It'd be really nice if we could still be using that and still filling the depredation quota that they
Well,
get.
you're hitting the nail on the head. And that's where this honestly really spurred from is I have dep tags, right, through a farmer that gets them through the state,
Yeah.
right, through a depredation
Officer.
biologist or
Yeah.
officer or however you want to say it, right? And they come out and they assess and they say, okay, this is how many tags you get. Well, I'm always in a little bit of a pickle because I want to be walking around with dep tags, but I don't want to have too many that if I get into late season,
Exactly.
because here's the thing, and when I say it, I don't want to hold too many that I don't have for late season because especially with depredation hunting and just hunting in general. Well, depredation hunting specifically, we're out there to harvest the deer.
Yeah.
Yes, we're hunting, but you're there to try to harvest deer off this property
Yeah.
in the most effective way possible.
Yeah.
Well, the most effective way during late season, during shotgun season, is with a shotgun.
Yeah.
The most effective way during muzz season is with a muzzle loader.
Yeah.
So if I could take those bow tags, I know that my chance of success during late split goes way down with a bow.
Yeah.
I know that because I've done it for years.
Yeah.
It is hard to get them really, really close. There's no foliage on the trees. Everything about it. They just know their pressure. Where do they walk? They walk right out in the middle of the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they're going to feed. They don't want to they want to get off the edge as quick as they can while they get where they feel safe. Well, if I could take and I could exchange that bow tag and I'll turn it in and I'll buy it again. Just let me buy it as a muzz tag.
Yeah.
Or let me turn it in and let me buy it as a second shotgun tag.
Yeah.
Or just how many tags just end up just sitting on the shelf, never get filled. Well, let them be reallocated.
Yeah.
You could even go so far as the state could send out notifications like, hey, we see that your tag has not been filled. Are you gonna hunt again? If not, you can turn your tag back in. We will give you a credit of $5. And then that tag could be possibly bought by somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they go, you know what? Yeah, man, I'm not going to be bow hunting during the late split, or I'm a or whatever. I'm a non-resident, or maybe not, probably not dip into the non-resident thing. But if I'm a resident and I'm bow hunting, but I'm not going to bow hunt the rest of the year, even though I have tags. Yeah, turn it back in. Well, a guy buys that for a second shotgun, goes out and shoots a doe, and now all of a sudden we've harvested more animals and we're creating revenue for the state.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I don't know. I think it could be kind of cool.
No, I think so too.
I don't know if I explained it very well.
No, I think it's good, and I think too that it's smart to not do it for buck tags too. You know.
Yeah. That's
just think-
a slippery slope.
Yeah. Don't
But
do that.
depredation hunting and antlerless quotas by county,
Yeah.
I just think it could be a really cool way. Again, all of a sudden, instead of it being $28.50 when you buy it, and then you're talking, then that's just it.
Yeah.
Well, now you're taking that $28.50 and you're doubling it or tripling it potentially, depending on how it would work out.
Yep.
Because again, if I got notified that there was a Saragordo County antlerless tag available, there was 1 available or 3 available, and I got a notification, I would buy them.
Yeah, I would too. I would
Right?
too. Yeah. For
Sure.
sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, I just think that would be, because again, now I have bow dep tags that are unfilled, and I've hunted hard to fill them.
Yeah.
Hasn't worked out. But if I could exchange them and make them late muzz dep tags without having to go ask or talk to the farmer and say, hey man, we have some that are unfilled, but man, I wish I could get a couple more. Can you talk to your dep officer and then him issuing more? Just exchange them.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And again, I think they would say, well, that would be a logistics nightmare, but would it be? Because first off, if you really wanted to make it less of a logistics nightmare, and maybe they would say, well, this is too complicated. I don't know. I don't think so. You take the tag, first option, you take the tag, you take it into wherever they sell tags, and you give them the tag, just like depredation. You get a little sheet. You have to take it in. They take the sheet from you. They don't give it back to you.
Yeah.
You have to give them your tag. They write void on it. They put it in a void envelope, and once a week they ship them to the state or they throw them in the garbage or whatever they do.
Yeah.
You cut them in half like a credit card.
Yeah.
Or, and then once you void it, they go in there, they say, I'm voiding this tag number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, voided, enter, goes through the system, voids it. Now, do you want to buy another one? Yes. Okay. Even though there's none available, but you just exchanged one, so now there's one available. Or just have them do it through the app.
Yeah.
And then we all have all of our tags, and they have a big list of all of our tags on the app, and they show when they were filled, and they have all these years of history of all the harvests that you've had. We'll just be able to go in there and just, do you want to void this tag? Yeah, click void. You'd even have to press, okay, type in void, VOID. Do you really want to void? You have to click yes 4 times and make sure that you really want to do it. Yes, 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 yes. And then, okay, you want to buy a new one? Yep, and then go buy a new one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. No, I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I just think there would be there would be more tags sold and there would be more deer harvested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question.
Potentially by just allowing the hunters that already have the tags to hunt in a different way, or giving other people the opportunity to get back out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I like it a lot.
So, yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
If we have a chance to go to the meetings, I'm going to mention it.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the worst thing they can say? No.
Well, yeah, probably initially that's probably what it would be.
Yeah.
But
that's where it all starts always, though.
Well, they say that's where way back in the day, that's where the whole straight wall cartridge thing started. Somebody just mentioned it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden,
here we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even look at this whole trail camera thing, right? Where are they having this discussion? Where are they having it in a public forum?
Yep.
At those meetings.
Exactly.
And so, I don't know. I think it could be a really cool thing. I think especially the Iowa Tag Exchange has a good ring to it.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of makes you feel like we're trying to be innovative. We're trying to,
Yeah.
And again, last time I checked, the state's always trying to make more money, right? Last time I checked, the tag costs went up.
Right.
So, and again, maybe they would say, well, you're sitting there complaining about tag costs, and then you would be willing to buy another one. Yeah, I would, if I can go out hunting and have a more efficient, effective way to try to kill a deer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind paying for another tag.
Yeah.
Or allowing somebody else to buy a tag.
Right.
Yeah.
And
we're not going to be harvesting any more deer than was already allocated within the quotas.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, it could be really cool, man. It's a great idea.
Yeah. I'm gonna mention it. I don't know if I'm gonna call anybody, but I'm gonna mention it.
Mm-hmm.
We're mentioning it here.
Yeah.
So let that get out into the internet stratosphere.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, I think the other thing I would say, the moral of the story is that I think we live in a pretty special state in the fact that we can have this discussion, and like the meetings are an opportunity to be able to do that. And I really do think that the state of Iowa does a really good job. I think they have a really hard job, right? Because, we get to be backseat drivers.
Yeah.
And be critical of everything with very probably little context.
Someone's always going to be pissed.
Yeah. For each yin, there's a yang. For this way, there's a that way. Mm-hmm. So I get it. So I think they have a tough job, but I think they do a good job. And like I said, I feel like we have more likes than dislikes, which is good, because I feel like we said, we talked some from Minnesota, and I feel like what we hear from a lot of people is a lot of the states are not happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is for sure.
So, I feel like, we're not that far off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess we're not that far off from where we align on things.
Uh-huh. Yep. No
which
doubt.
is fine by me.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, do you want to make an official apology again for dropping the...
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Sorry, Nick. Sorry for Nick. And it was really inappropriate that he apologized, and he said he'll never again on the podcast because you can't say the word.
Yeah. Yeah. I apologize.
That was so awesome. That's like the 7th time you've done that.
No.
Yeah.
Probably only the 2nd. That's pretty good out of 138 episodes.
Oh, that's terrible odds.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching Ozonics, or thanks for listening or doing whatever you do and for the podcast, Ozonics Killerwinds podcast.
That was the craziest thing ever.
Thanks for watching and listening.
Your tone changed mid-sentence.
I know, because I messed it up. All right, another Ozonics Killerwinds podcast in the books. The Nuke, me, thanks for listening. Sorry, Nick swore.
Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
Stay classy.